What's up YouTube? So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to launch your boat solo. One of the first things I do when I get to the location I'm going to is I check out the water level, check out the ramps. As you can see, you don't want to put your boat in on this side, you don't want to scratch it up. But yeah, that's one of the first things I do. And then another thing I recommend for you guys just getting into this is practicing on a day that's not busy. It's nice and calm today, nobody's here. You know, you got plenty of different launches you can launch out of. So you're not gonna be tying anybody up. So on days like this is when you should be out practicing and getting comfortable with your boat. All right guys, let's get started. All right, before I jump in this video, I just wanted to say, you know, it's okay to be nervous. Just remember, everybody was in your shoes at one point in time. So, and the reason why you prep your boat away from the launch, one is you're not tying up the launch. Unfortunately, people will get mad at you, probably will say something. And two, by doing it away from the launch, you can take your time and make sure it's done right. And also, by taking your time like that, it helps with some of that stress. You're not like, oh man, did I forget the plug or did I forget the straps? You know, taking your time is key. That way when you get up to the launch, you feel comfortable to launch. And like I said, it's okay to be nervous. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get. You know, that's just how it works. All right, guys, let's jump into this video. The very first thing I do is put the plug in. Probably one of the most important parts right here. Make sure you get in the right hole. Make sure it's nice and tight. There we go. Just like that. We'll take the straps off. And what I'm doing is I'm taking all this stuff off before I get down to the ramp, because last thing you want to do is tie up a boat ramp. It's kind of hard to do with one hand, but we'll take off this. Again, guys, a little bit hard to do with one hand. Just like that. I'll throw this in the truck. All right, the next step I do is I come up here and I unhook this from the trailer, but I leave the main strap hooked to the boat until the boat's almost in the water, because you don't want your boat to slide off on you when you're putting it in the water. But yeah, I leave this hooked, and then next thing I do is I unhook my trailer lights. Some people don't, but you don't want it to short out on you. But there you have it. The boat is ready to go. If you have put your rods in, and you know, if you have like your rod holders that I hook up down here, and like my fish finders, put all that on now before you get down to the launch. Like I said, it'll make your job a lot easier when you're down there. My next step is I put my rope on, hook it to my cleat, just like that. And then if you use bumpers, go ahead and put your bumpers on. A lot of times when I'm doing this solo, I like using my bumpers because I don't like the boat rubbing up against the dock, just to help prevent scratches. That's just me. I'm gonna go up front and do the same thing. Doing the same thing up front, we'll go hook it to the cleat. And I tell you, me personally, when I'm launching the boat, I prefer to launch from the driver's side. I just feel it's easier. And then when I'm putting the boat back on the trailer, I prefer putting it back on the trailer on the passenger side. And the reason why I like the passenger side, because when I pull up to the dock, the boat steering wheel is on the right-hand side, so it's easier for me to get to the dock that way when I'm by myself and be able to grab that dock. So there you have it. There's another tip that I would recommend trying. All right, we're ready to put the boat in the water. I'm gonna go back over what I just did. Very first thing I did was I put that plug in, took off the straps, the transom support bracket, I took that off, took off this strap, I tied my dock ropes. Like I said, I like to use bumpers. If you don't, it's not a big deal. I just don't want to scratch up my boat. But I'll put everything on now before we get down to the launch. I unhooked this one from the trailer. You don't have to do that. I just like doing it up here, but leave this one hooked. Make sure you leave that one hooked. And then when you get down to the water, we'll unhook this right before we put the boat in. And then another thing I like doing personally, I like unhooking my trailer lights. You don't want to short anything out. So I always unhook that. All right, guys, take a deep breath. All right, let's go put the boat in the water. All right, guys, very first thing I do when I get down here is I put on my emergency brake. Last thing you want is your truck to slide down into the water. So you see how far I'm in the water right now? This is when I unhook this strap right here. So just like that. All right, next step. Okay, everything's unhooked. It's ready to be put in the water. So all I'm gonna do is take the rope. I'm gonna tie the rope to my truck right here. I'm slowly gonna back it down till that boat gets off the trailer, floats off the trailer, and then I'm gonna get out. I'm just gonna tie the rope to here, get out, take the rope down there and tie off. And there you have it, real simple to do. Just like that, man. Real simple. See, that wasn't bad, was it? Push that off like this. And I got my back rope up here. Just like this, and I'll tie off the back here. Just like this, and you're ready to go, man. Just like that. Just remember, if you do it this way, just stay calm and cool, don't rush, and you'll have a good time. All right, one last step is when you put your boat back on your trailer, you can drive it on or you can just walk it on, but you want your back bumpers right here to be partially out of the water. Just like that. And you can just drive it up on, ease it up on, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that yet, you just take your ropes and walk it up on. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the water.